This playthrough is rated M for mature.
Hello, Houston? I think we have a rat problem. Greetings and salutations, viewers. Vauldemare back here with another episode of Shadowrun Hong Kong. In the last episode, we dreamt of the dreams of teeth, and then we had a well rest, but we ended up losing a tooth somewhere on the way, and well, that's a bit strange. But anyway, we headed to the sunken ship to help with Gobbet because she ran off to do some reconnaissance, and apparently some stuff's going on with some devil rats. We need to figure out what to do. Gobbet wants to scuttle the ship, and maybe we'll do that, but we'll see what the others have to say. Before we do that, let's see what happens if we go into the room that the Gobbet didn't tell us to go into, and that the hosts were going to lead us into. I wonder if what would have happened if we actually went inside this thing. The air is thicker in here, acrid. The stench clings to your tongue, sticks in the back of your throat. It smells like damp cardboard and stale urine. Gobbet surveys the room warily, her nose crinkling in disgust. Well, that's foul. Don't get any further into the room either. We don't know how to disarm the trap yet. Hang on, I just want to take a look. The flooring here is a patchwork of metal scrap that creaks beneath your feet. With each step you can feel it flex, struggling to accommodate your weight. Walk further into the room. You take a step forward, then another. Nothing seems to happen. Gobbet hisses at you. Get back here, you idiot! The trap is still armed! The room stands empty in front of you. There's nothing stopping you from continuing onward if you want to. You hit the ground with a bone-snapping crunch. Everything goes black. Game over. Yep, so we die if you act stupid enough to just walk into the room, even though Gobbet tells you like a million times not to. So there you go. So anyway, second I was like, why isn't it loading? I was like, oh, it's just being a little slow there. So, but yeah, I thought I'd show off what happens if you're stupid, even though the game gives you multiple times to do it. You know, it's like, we warned you. And then the price for that is death. An open junction box juts out from the wall, its cover hanging by a single screw. Wires crisscross over one another in a chaotic jumble, and the whole apparatus appears to be held together with electrical tape. Derby bigged, like everything else here. She frowns at the tangle of wiring, clucking her tongue in disapproval. That's really sloppy work. You'd think that in an environment like this they'd at least try to do some basic waterproofing. She traces the wall-mounted cables that snake out from the box with her eyes, following them to their termination point. Looks like this box is feeding power to that door over there. If we were to short it, we might be able to get that thing open. Follow the instructions to disarm the door lock from that data pad we got from that one guy, that fob. You examine the rat's nest of wires, tracing its connection to its point of origins. Following the instructions on the data pad, you then snip and rewire the system to feed power back into it itself. The results of your work are immediate and spectacular. You hear a deafening crackling sound, and a blinding flash of light stabs your eyes. Moments later, the hall fills with an overpowering stench of ozone. The overhead lights flutter. Up ahead, you can hear the sound of a set of door locks disengaging. So now we can go into that room we couldn't access before, or we can go into the back end or whatever. So looks like there's a few people back here. So now let's take a chat with them. Let's see what this says. The door is heavily reinforced and barricaded. It'd take a bulldozer to get it open. The woman standing guard duty nods in acknowledgement. Strangers, you picked a bad time to come visit. And you're a terrible door guard. Or aren't you looking out for gun-toting strangers? That isn't what I'm here for, strangers. Strangers don't concern us. It doesn't control any strangers. Not that we know of any. It, the thing that controls these devil rats, makes them aggressive, organizes them. I've never seen it myself, but I've heard stories. Someone talked to the dwarf, and I'm busy. She hefts her weapon, her eyes glued to the door. I need to keep my eyes open for more of those little bastards. We can't let any more of them sneak in here. Not after what happened to Simon. Or Theodore. Or Alvin. Best of luck. And I just talked to the sick dwarf. A stocky dwarf leans up against the wall of the container room. His skin is sallow and it hangs off his bulky frame like a half-deflated balloon. You saw plenty of sick people back in the Barrens. Addicts, BTL heads, people whose immune systems have been ravaged by disease. This guy looks worse. The dwarf's milky eyes track you as you approach. A wave of recognition watches over his face, but his movements remain lethargic. Eventually he manages to slur out a few words. Gobbet. Back here after all this time. Yeah, I'm sorry it's taken so long. Gobbet stares at the dwarf wide-eyed. It's good to see you, Cad. I think we could have actually gone in this room earlier before encountering the guys with Gobbet and everything, but the game decided to activate the cutscene before I could mess with the electrical panel earlier, so you could have talked to this guy before having Gobbet, I believe. But anyway, Gobbet told me about you. How are you feeling? Oh, perfect. Thanks for asking. He struggles to contain a burst of coughing. I mean, I'm dying, and my home has gone to shit. We're probably going to sink into the bay, but otherwise I'm great. With a visible effort, he shifts his focus to Gobbet. Welcome home, girl. Been a long time. She swallows. Cadmus, Save it. I'm not mad. He squeezes his eyes shut. I'm mostly just happy to hear your voice again. It's good to have a friend. Are you sick, Cadmus? He grins between his sunken eyes and hollow cheeks. The end result is ghastly. Ill? I'd say so. Deathly ill. Vitus is a real bitch. Even a neutered strain like this one can really knock you on your ass. You'll be okay, Cad. You're a dwarf and a shaman. That's 2 big points in your favor. You're gonna walk this off. You'll see. Spare me the pep talk. I'm too tired to walk. He coughs into his sleeve. Cad. Save it. I know what my chances look like. They aren't good. I've seen a lot of our friends loaded into those cots, Gobbet. They went out in the garbage bags. Anyway, he wrestles his mouth into a friendly smile. Let's talk about something else, huh? All this doom and gloom is getting to me. Tell us what happened here. Bad things. A lot of good people died. Something's gone rotten on this raft, Gobbet. You know what I mean. Toxic. Yeah, I feel it too. I can feel it all the way back home. Her throat moves, but it takes a moment for her voice to catch up. Cadmus, where are our friends? What happened to Yasmin, Anson, and Malvina? Anson's dead. He never made it into the sick room. Just disappeared, and I know where he went. He stabs a finger downward at the floor. Yasmin's still with us. Small favors, right? But the fight she's gone out of her. She's content to do what she's told. And tremble. Malvina ain't Malvina anymore. What is she? I don't know what it is. It's definitely toxic, but as far as what it is, his voice trails off. Cadmus stares up at Gobbet helplessly. Malvina went off the rails because of that damn bauble that I gave her. That's what happened, isn't it? It ain't her, Gobbet. It's something else. He struggles to contain another cough. Eventually it passes. But yeah, that shiny red egg that you and Sue lifted is the cause of it, I think. The ugliness was already inside of her, but that thing brought it out. She squeezes her eyes shut, balls her hands into fist. Shit. Cadmus, you said that Malvina isn't herself anymore. So what is she? Actually, this isn't your fault, Gobbet. You had to give her that thing to stop the mutiny. I know, killer. I know what I had to do. No regrets. I'm pretty fucking angry about what happened afterwards. You and me both, kid. I'm as angry as I've ever been and twice as frightened. His chest leaves as deep, bronchial cough racks his body. With a grimace of distaste, he spits out a wad of bloody phlegm. You haven't seen what happened to Malvina, what she's become. You need rest. You should put this on hold and... He raises his hand, cutting her short. Got no time to rest. You need to hear this. What we're up against. You ever heard of a rat king? It's an old folklore thing. A bunch of rats all fused together. Their tails are wrapped and twisted in a great big knot. That's what Mal's become. I don't know how many different spirits she's tied her essence to, but the last time I opened her third eye to her, I couldn't see where they ended and she began. What does that even mean? I never heard of. It means that she ain't human anymore, girl. Her aura is bound to those other things, alien things, all tangled and twisted and grown together. They're all one being now. The Rat King. It talks about me being but it ain't her anymore. Is the Rat King still human, physically speaking? Don't know. I've heard rumors that Malvina's meat body is changing too. Haven't seen it myself. Don't know if I want to. Another long, wet cough interrupts his speech. He wipes his mouth with the back of his hand. The talisman that the Rat King is holding, the shiny object, do you know how it works? Nah, I tried assessing it once. The only thing that I took away from the experience was a migraine. Felt like there was a railroad spikes buried beneath my eyes for days. All I can tell you for certain is that it still works. As long as the Rat King can enter that thing, you can't hurt it. Any holes that you put in its body will close up on their own. So it's invincible. Wonderful. I didn't say that. It's the bubble that makes the Rat King what it is, so you're just gonna have to find a way to steal it. Gobbet managed to do that during Sue's rebellion. I bet that she could do it again. Did you try to fight this Rat King? Yeah, I had enough. A lot of us had, so we took a page from old Sue's book. He offers you a sickly grin. We mutinied. He gestures at the writhing bodies on the cots of the sick room. This is what's left of our side. Been locked in here for 5 days now. 5 days now, waiting for Vitus to finish the job. The rest of us got fed to the rats. Another mutiny? Seriously? It was better than submitting to the Rat King like everyone else. I wasn't going to serve any longer. I couldn't, not after learning what it was. Our friend is dead. Everything that was good about Tamavina got eaten by the monster she began. Unfortunately, not everyone feels the same way that I did. We've got a lot of folks on this boat, and they've all got something to lose. When push comes to shove, most of them took the side they thought would win. Why would the others stop you from taking the ship back? That doesn't even make sense. What do you think, girl? Fear? Fear of death? Fear of being gnawed apart by 100 vermin? Fear of that thing? You're saying that the people here aren't brainwashed, they're just afraid? Scared shitless is a better way of putting it, and I can't blame them. If anything, we're the crazy ones for trying to fight that thing. If the Rat King soldiers only serve it because they're afraid, then maybe we can turn them away from it. Could do. They might rally around someone they know. Maybe someone who's lived here, that lived with and fought them for years ago. He eyes Gobbet. That was a subtle hint, girl. I got a better idea. We're gonna get you and your people in the lifeboats, and then we're sending this raft to the bottom of the bay. And that Rat King is going with it. You can't mean that. This is our home. We got nowhere else to go, Gobbet. I am not gonna let that thing force us to put this raft to the torch. You tried it your way. Look at what happened. Isabel steps in. Maybe it's good that you leave this place. I've lived in a place like this before. I've seen what it can do to people. She grew up in the walled city, Cad. Then she knows what we've got to look forward to if you sink this raft, because we sure as hell can't afford to live anywhere else. He cranes his neck to look up at Gobbet, pleading. Desperation burns in his eyes. Gobbet, listen. It isn't too late for the sinking ship. We can still turn this thing around. My mutiny failed because the Rat King knew things that we didn't. Yours can succeed if you try. She shakes her head obstinately. My gut says that we should sink the raft. It said that from the moment I arrived here, that's what Rat wants me to do. That's what I'm gonna do. Gobbet, this decision right here doesn't immediately set your choice. It's just kind of a thought process of what you're doing. There's another point where you can officially set your choice for this particular setting. Gobbet, Cadmus might be right. If we could drum up enough support, I think we could retake the sinking ship. Her eyes narrow. Have you forgotten the first lesson I taught you, killer? Always go with your gut. And my gut says... Spare us the lecture, Gobbet. Cadmus is right. You're going off half-cocked again. The truth is, we can't save this. We can save this raft if you want to. If you don't tell us, and we'll sink it. Look, Gobbet, things have changed since you decided to sink this raft. You can see that, right? She sets her jaw, draws a deep breath, and slowly releases it. Alright, Cad, if you're sure that you can keep up your end, I'd be willing to help you with your mutiny. But if your people fuck it up, I'm sinking this thing. Got it? Yeah, thanks. With your help, we can do this. That remains to be seen. He waves her off. Go on, get to moving, and convince as many people as you can to help us when the time comes. Whoever you don't bring around to our side is going to fight against us, so be thorough about it. When you're ready for us to make our move, trigger the shipboard alarm system. 2 blasts, then we'll start kicking in the doors. Alright, kid. 2 blasts start the mutiny, but if we sound the alarm once and leave it, you get your people the hell off of this raft. Got it? 1 blast means you're sinking the raft. You do that, I'm kicking your bony ass from here to Macau. But yeah, I hear you. Another long, wet cough racks his body. You got all that, stranger? You know that you're supposed to do. We convince people to join you, then trigger the alarm. 1 blast means it's sinking the raft, 2 means the mutiny's on. Got it. Good, thanks. Gobbet, thank you. It does me good to know that you're with us on this. But yeah, that's the choice that'll set you if you want to do sink the ship or not, is at that point. So, alright, well anyway, let's talk to some people. Store is heavily reinforced barricade. Take a, oh yeah, I read that before. So, but yeah, now we have to convince people to join us. Glad to have you on your side, strangers. When the time comes when mutiny comes, you can count me in. Alright. Well, let's talk to some other people and see what they say. And yeah, you're not, that person's not going to do anything, because we could have either killed him or saved him, so basically they're out of the whole situation. So let's see what Mercurio has to say. You're back. He smiles down at Isabel, saluting with his glass. Tell me why. We're taking the sinking ship back from the Rat King. Will you help us? He shakes his head sadly. No, I'm afraid not. I'm a lover, not a fighter. And if you have etiquette of socialite, you can say, I can see that you're a man who enjoys the finer things in life. You'll never have them as long as the Rat King is in control. If you have decking of 5, you can say, if you don't get off your scrawny ass and fight, I'll snap you in half like a twig. Now how does that sound? Or you can give him money and say, you know, 500 Union could buy you a lot of brandy. This is your way out of here, don't you see that? Of course I do. I'm not a fool. But fighting the Rat King would also be a wonderful way for me to get myself killed, and I'm too keen to have that happen. Listen, if we can't rally enough support to make this mutiny happen, we're sinking the raft. Ah, I suppose I don't have much choice then. Count me in. Yeah, so if you said it right, you can actually get him to help you. Also, Sparrow won't help you if you didn't heal her before. So, but if you did, she's pretty much good. Thanks again for your help, but I'd bled out if you didn't come on. We're taking another run at the Rat King, and we're going to kill it this time. We could use your help. What help I do, but I can't do much without supplies. She licks her lips, considering. I'll make you a deal. If you hook me up with some medical supplies, I'll join your mutiny. And then you can ask, you can give them your medical equipment, or you can ask your allies to give them their equipment if they've got them. Isabel, have anything that can help? She fishes a medkit out of her bag and hands it to the woman. Here, don't waste it. I won't, and now I have a debt to repay. When you make your move on the Rat King, I'll be there to help. You got my word on that. Good. Head to the quarantine area and meet up with Cadmus. He'll let you know what to do. I have a few things to take care of first, but I will. You got my word on that. Unfortunately, I don't have the skills to get everyone in the group. Some require like certain skill checks and everything like that, which I don't actually have. Water drips down from a leak in the ceiling to spatter against the case of this ancient terminal. It is a miracle that the thing is still functional. A blinking green cursor wasted your input. Access the terminal. Post-serve, freeware mail, client user, Sun, instant. Mail, new regs, damned rats, quarantine, and meeting. So let's read the first one. Chung Sun Anson to Beasley Malvina. We need to talk about these new regulations that keep handing down. Look, I used to be a merchant marine. I get it. I know how important procedure is on a boat. I know the mindset that you're working against, but some of these new regs are borderline draconian. They're getting in the way of our maintenance crews downstairs. Order is a good thing. Micromanaging isn't. So let's talk about it, okay? Yes, yes. For second message. Alright. Chunk to Huang. Cadmus. We got a hell of an infestation going on in the lower levels, and we need to start doing something about it. Can I count on you and your boys to help me with this? I know that M would frown on what I'm proposing, but she isn't doing anything to help. We have to take matters into our own hands before things get ugly. Quarantine. Same type of forwarding. This was exactly what I was afraid of, see. Those bloody rats have eaten us out of house and home, and now their food supply is gone, they decide to turn on us. It's pretty clear that M can't or won't use her magic to fix this, so it's on us to deal with the fallout. I've had the upstairs maintenance crew set aside a couple of containers as a quarantine area sick room. It's inevitable that we're going to start seeing people getting sick, and we need a place to shelve them. If we don't do this, we're going to have a panic on our hands. Vitus deaths aren't pretty. And finally, the final message. Same people. Yes, tell your brother that I got this note and that I'll be there. I don't know what all this is about, but I'll have a guess, and if I'm right, well, I'm in. Things have to change around here for all our sakes. Alright, step away. Let's see about this person. Gobbet, you're back. Hello, Yasmin. It's good to see you again. Yeah, you too. Where the hell have you been all these years? Oh, different boat, funny enough. Yes, I'm a little out of the loop on what's happening here. Could you do me a solid and fill us in? Yeah, we're not supposed to talk about it, but I'll tell you what I know. Tell us what's happening here. She looks uneasy. Well, we're all struggling to deal with the devil rat infestation. You probably know about them. With all the rats around, there aren't many volunteers for the maintenance crews anymore. It's getting lonely out here. She abruptly stops talking. Her cheeks flush red. That's it. That's all I have to say. Yeah, you're talking to me here, so tell me what's going on. I can't help you if I don't know what's happening. Yasmin's eyes dart up and down the hall, scanning for anyone who might be her hands begin to shake. After a moment, she leads to her Gobbet and lowers her voice to a whisper. Yeah, all right, she swallows. This raft is cursed. By the Rat King, you mean? Your brother told us all about it. Her voice comes out in a terrified whisper. Yes, it has spies everywhere. Rats, those little monsters of the kind on 2 legs. If you don't do what it says, things happen to you, and it talks over the intercom using Alvina's voice. And it isn't her. I know he has, one way or another. I'm gonna kill it. The whisper changes, becomes fierce. Her eyes burn with intensity. Good. She clasps my hand over her mouth, her eyes wide. Her entire body is shaking. Thanks, yes, that helps. Believe it or not, it helps. She nods mutely, still struggling to calm herself. We're taking the ship back, Yasmin. We need your help. Her eyes go wide. No, not me. Go to someone else. I saw what happened last time. Last time you didn't have me here. We're gonna kill the monster that stole Malvina's voice. Yes, you got any word on that? She stares at Gobbet long and hard. Finally, she acquiesces with a nod. Right, Gobbet, I'm in. I'm terrified, but I'm all in. Or I'm in. Her voice breaks, but she continues on. I'm no fighter, you know that. I keep the ship afloat, and that's about it. I do what I can to help. You'll be okay, Yasmin, I promise. Circle up with your brother. I'm sending everyone we can convince to help to meet up with him in the sick room. He'll tell you what to do from there. I got another person. Let's see if anyone else can be helped. Let's talk to this fine fellow, Ivan Fu. You again. He lets out a little grunt. What do you need? Did the Rat King's people do that to you? No, I got caught in the crossfire. Mutineers did this to me. Thought I was with the Rat King. All that I wanted to do was get home. Instead, my right eye only sees double now. Can hardly use my hands. The calmness in his voice belies the naked spite in his face. Thanks for asking. I know you're hurting, but there are other ways to help than fighting. Oh, I can fight. Don't you worry about that. He glances down his bandaged hands. It might be best if I wait a week or two, but even in the state I'm in, I can hold my own. I used to be damn good with a blade. Paid a pretty penny to have one custom forged for me, even. That blade was a lovely thing, useful in and out of fight. I always liked that. It wasn't just a weapon, it was a tool as well. What happened to this blade of yours? Taken, lost, I don't know. He pulls a Balisson knife from his back pocket and extends his arm, offering it to you. How about you, stranger? You handle with a blade? And one of the few times in the game you get a melee weapons option, which doesn't really do much. But if you do, you can flip open the blade. You can say that, but you can say, "Damn, any idea where it went?" No, and even if I did, do you think I'd tell a stranger where to find it? That blade was my most prized possession. If anyone's gonna find it, it's gonna be me. We're taking this rat back from the Rat King. We need all the help we can get. Can we count on you? He chuckles. You're all fools. The last 2 mutinies failed, and yours will too. Even if you did have a chance, it was Cadmus and his boys that did this to me. Think I'm gonna cozy up with them? I'm sorry that they hurt you, but like you said, you got caught in the crossfire. People get hurt in those situations. It happens. Cadmus would never intentionally harm you. The Rat King, on the other hand. I said no. I'm not putting my neck out for anyone. I'm gonna ride this thing out. That's all there is to it. If it helps us, I could make it worth your while. I have connections back in Kowloon. You hard of hearing? I said no, and that's final. I'm not laying my life on the line for you, or for Cadmus, or for anyone else. And if you have a Etiquette Shadowrunner, this option actually gets them to join the team, but since I don't have Shadowrunner, but if you did, you could say, wake up, you're living in a war zone, not shooting aside won't keep you safe, it'll get you killed. But since I don't, I go, is there anything I can say that could change your mind? No, now leave me alone. And we don't really need his help, but we could have if we had that option, so. But I don't, so. Alright, then the final person to talk to is the crazy lady here, Lise. The guard turns to face you. You're bad. The Rat King has ruled here for long enough. We're taking it down, and we could use your help. Her eyes go wide. Get yourself killed even talking like that. You'll get me killed with you. Get the hell out of here right now. I won't take part in another damn mutiny. Think, how does it help you for the Rat King to stay in control? She screeches and rushes you. I warned you not to talk. And yeah, she attacks you if you do that. So, all right. So we actually could just beat feet. We don't actually have to. Let's just get out of here. And she shot me right in the face. Yeah, we heal myself really quick. At least I believe, or maybe it's a different. I could have swore you could basically avoid her and escape or whatever, and just not deal with it. Okay. Well, never mind. It must be a different way to do this, because I remember there being a way to like basically avoid her completely. off or whatever, and that would end the fight, and she would just run away or whatever. I guess not. Okay, so let me run back and deal with her. Okay, never mind. Sorry about that misinformation. I could have swore there was a way to like just back off and you would basically avoid fighting her or whatever. Like even after attacking her or whatever, or her attacking her. It's kind of crazy I could go through the whole level, like or certain levels like this, you know. I mean, she's not much of a fight, obviously, because let's just get everyone in there. Blaster. Yeah, you could have walked away and just not done anything. But you see, she's just waiting me on the door. Baby Mew. Alright, well, I didn't want to kill you, but I'm going to. Crazy lady. Yeah, see, all it does is it just ties into here. So. That's all it does. So. Alright, I think that's everything. Yeah, okay. Let me talk to him one more time after that. You're back. Yeah, you're back. Need something. When did all this start? It must have been some time after Gobbet left. Nah, not too long. Maybe a week or so. We couldn't see it at the time, but it was happening. We couldn't see it at the time, but it was happening. I stake my life on it. Goodness, everything was fine when I left the brand. I mean, the vibe here had changed, but Malvina was still Malvina. If anything, she was even stronger than the woman I had known. Yeah, she got strong, alright. Strong and mean. It started small. A couple of months after Sue's mutiny, Malvina started proposing new rules. She said that she was cracking down on infractions, keep in order to keep us safe, but over time those rules started piling up, and gradually the punishments had started getting worse. She became paranoid. He gives you a shallow nod. Yeah, that's right. That's what I mean when I say that she had it in her all along. He pauses, checks himself. She, I don't think Malvina can even be described as she anymore. She, it's really a they. Our friend is dead or changed so much that she might as well be. And the things that are wearing her skin don't belong in this world. There's a trapped room at the end of the hall. Know anything about that? Yeah, me and my crew built the thing. Let me guess, Malvina's orders. He nods. First thing she asked us to do about Sue's little rebellion, we started work on the thing the week after you left. Yasmin wasn't in charge of the project. Can you just have to get past it? No. He coughs wetly into his sleeve. No, but Yaz can. She should be somewhere on this level. Go find her and tell her I sent you. Well, thanks, Kaz. We will, thanks, Kaz. He dabs specks of blood from his lips. Don't mention it. We should go. Hang in there. I ain't going nowhere. Be safe. Okay, now we can talk to her. Should talk to him again. I forgot you had to talk to him twice to initiate that part of it, but oh well. Alright, now we can get past this, that one part, so. Alright, talk to her again. Let's see, Gobbet, you're back. Cadmus said you were in charge of building the trap at the end of the hall. Yeah, that was me. I didn't want to build the thing, but I did it to help Malvina, to keep us safe. I've had it ever since. We could really use your help, Yaz. We need to get below deck, and we need to do it in one piece. Can you help us to get past the trap that you built? I think so. It's been a long time, but I think I remember what wires you need to snip to disarm the thing. She fumbles at a nearby table, grabs a napkin, then she produces a grease pencil from her breast pocket and begins to draw. There's a hidden access panel on the floor. You'd never find it if you didn't know where to look. You snip these wires here, this one here, and bypass this circuit. She scribbles on the napkin with a steady hand. Then flip this lever. Do that and you're done. The trapdoor won't trigger and you won't get dumped into the killing pit. Yeah, that's what happened to us in the alternate timeline. Killing pit? She passes the napkin to Gobbet. It's pretty much what you expect. She snatches the napkin from Yasmin's hand. She says, you don't know how badly we need this. Yes, Cadmus sent you to me after all. She smiles weakly. Best of luck. I'll leave it to her. Yeah, thanks. Be careful out there. What work? What are they working on? I know that's a general term, but still. It's like, okay. Alright, let's go into the killing room. There it is. The air is thicker in here, acrid. The stench clings to your tongue. Okay, it's the same as before. Gobbet surveys the room warily, her nose crinkling in disgust. She produces a napkin with Cadmus's instructions from her breast pocket and hands them to you. There you go, killer. You know what to do. Under her breath, you hear her muttering, let's hope that he has knows her stuff. Alright, anyway, let's go to the door here. Or thing here, I mean. Following the grease pencil diagrams, you locate a hunk of metal flooring with a slightly raised edge. Hooking your fingers under it, you lift to reveal a hidden access panel. That's a good sign. Follow Yasmin's instructions to disarm the trap. The instructions are surprisingly easy to follow. 3 snips with your pocket knife and a reward connection later, the 4-spinning trapdoor has been disarmed. Well, that was easy. Yeah, staples, huh? She beams at you. Go on, killer. You take the lead. You've earned it. Gee, thanks. You just want to test it out, make sure it works. It works. All right. Alright, let's head downstairs. Alright, time to make these rats flee from this sinking ship. Stepping into this room, it's like wading into the killing floor of a slaughterhouse. There isn't an inch of ground that isn't caked with spilled blood. The stench that floods into your nostrils is as overpowering as it is vile. It is the stench of rotten beef and stale vomit, of warm blood poured into a chemical toilet and left out in the sun to cook. The buzzing of flies in your ears helps bring you back to your senses. Blinking against the light, you see stacks of moldering trash piles nearly to the ceiling. The piles of dead bodies are stacked nearly as high. Gobbet, are you okay? She doesn't seem to notice you. Your jaw hangs open in horror. As her eyes move from atrocity to atrocity, your cheeks slowly drain of color. Not Simon. Tears spill down her cheeks. Oh, rat, no, this... Gobbet gasps for a way to finish her thought. She doesn't find one. I'm sorry, Gobbet. I know these people were friends. I didn't know. Her eyes remain locked on the nearest pile of corpses. Y'all deserve better than this. The Rat King is supposed to be down this level. That means we're heading in the right direction. After seeing this, I don't think this raft is worth saving. We should go back to my original plan, killer. Let's send this thing to the bottom. That's where it belongs. You can't do that, Gobbet. We already told Cadmus that we're going to help him. He's been getting the other mutants ready to fight, not to evacuate. If we sink this thing now, they might not even make it off the boat. We'll tell them that we changed our minds using the alarm system. They'll make it out, trust me. You made a promise, Gobbet. I think we should keep it. She sighs. I think it's a stupid idea, killer, but if you really want to do this, I'll let you get it done. At least that way we'll get to look the Rat King in the eye when I kill it. Damn right. Alright, sorry. Damn right. If we're gonna do this, we need to find Malvina's old cabin. It should be west of here. Got it. I'll have to get the shiny object away from the Rat King if we want to kill it. That's probably gonna be tricky. I don't think that she'll just let me saunter up and take it. Well, you've sold the shiny object twice already. 3rd time's the charm, right? Yeah, 3 makes a list. She rolls her shoulders, exhales heavily. Alright, let's do this. And you still have a choice on it because we can actually grab the scuttling charges here. The scuttling charge is old, very old. The case is cracked and leaking. You can see exposed wires underneath. A large red toggle switch serves as safety. It's currently set to armed, but you can disable the safety. You flip the switch, snaps into the disarmed position with a lot of fun. Gobbet brows froze. Killer, what are you doing? Flipping a toggle switch. What does it look like I'm doing? But I thought we were going to aid in mutiny. Are we going to go back to my old plan and sink in the raft? Is that what's happening now? No, I still want to help Cadmus. I just think that we should disable the safeties on these bombs too, just in case. I'm fine with disabling the safeties in the contingency plan. There's no point in doing it if we aren't going to sink the raft, but there's no harm in keeping our options open either. The engine room is our point of no return though. Once we head in there, I start diverting power to the bombs and all bets are off. Odds are good that we'll have a fight on our hands. If we do change plans and decide to sink the raft, we better let Cat and his people know about it. They're expecting a mutiny, not an abandoned ship. If we don't give them a heads up, they're heading on a one-way trip to the bomb of Pompeii. Got it. Let's get those charges disarmed. Yeah, I like how you can be basically almost bipolar about the whole situation. They're like, oh, what are you doing? We made this whole plan, and you told me and convinced me and all this stuff, and now we're not gonna do it? What the? Yeah, they're trying to say. Surprise, surprise. Gobbet, let's see if we can do this. No. Let this. Yeah, I don't know why you're backwards and fogging it twice. Let us. Yeah, I forgot about you back there too. Taste the thing. At least if they build up, I'll be able to do something. Yeah, nice, alright. I like when a plan kind of comes together, sort of. That's it. Fireball. Nice. Engage with that. No, I didn't think I was that close for that. Gobbet, let's have you. Let's see if you can spray and pray. Get away from her. Yeah. Radical rat. Alright. Not checking you. Alright, let's see. Pick up an item. Alright, let's just take that, stash it. Also another scuttling charge here. Let's check over here. Another scuttling charge. Alright, then go here. Big open area. There's also a chance for something, as you can see there. Alright, and then we can now, we've got the rearm, and now we can jack in the matrix. So basically what happens here is that we can basically go into the matrix here and set out the bombs and then just run to the top. Basically that's one way to do it. The other way is to just charge the Rat King. Now it's probably the better option to just straight up sink the ship overall, because that's probably the easiest option, because all you have to do is a simple matrix section, and then you just leave. You don't even have to fight the boss. If you fight the boss, you have to do a bit of finagling during the fight to do that. So yeah, let me go and make a save here. All right. An matrix terminal with a cracked case slice splayed out in front of you. Probably the screen winks to life at your approach. Bingo! I can use this to arm the scuttling charges and sink the raft. Good, let's make it happen. Gobbet leans in to inspect the terminal. She lifts a patch of exposed wire with a fingernail. Reminds me of your computer back in the big Texas is. Please, the weakest component of the octopus will put this thing to shame. She looks up to you. This is going to be a two-stage process. I'm going to need to take control of the raft's power supply and then route that power into the remaining charges. Once that's done, I'll arm them and we can send this thing to the bottom of the bay. She clasps Isabel on the shoulder. Sounds good to me. I'll need to provide more support. It's going to be trickier than it sounds, and it'll take time. I'll need you to watch my back while I'm doing it. And if you've got a deck and you want to do it yourself, you can say, I've got a better idea. I'm jacking in. You and Gobbet watch my back. But now we can tell her to do it. When more thing. This isn't going to be quick or quiet. Once I've taken over the main power, you're going to see fluctuations here in the real world. Doors locking and flickering lights stuck in the and the Rat King will see it too. Right, so be ready. You're going to have a fight on your hands. I have Isabel jacking the sinking ship's matrix screws. Alright, and then like all matrix sections. Just have to see this one goes back and forth. Should be able to. Close. Aw, no! Dang it. I was hoping that should. This one's a little bit tricky with the way it works, or the way you can fight things on this one. So. I got caught by this one. Oh well, at least it gives me a free area to explore. So. Let's take a look around. That move. Someone in here? Alright. Got some white lines. Get a little bumpy there, so that's my tip from there. Or you could move closer to me and be out in the open. I will take that. And we can move right there. Okay. Yeah, no, okay. Well, we could force it, but. Like again, once again, it's me concentrating, so. I mean, I don't have to do all these every time, but. Sections of it. Okay. There we go. There's that one. Alright, the lights in the engine room flicker all across the raft. Shipboard systems begin to fluctuate and fail. And yeah, while she's doing that, we get attacked by rats! Oh god! The thing that looms over you is horrifying. A twisted amalgamation of woman and swarm, knotted and tied together into a single whole. Gobbet. The voice that purrs from the creature is disturbingly human. The woman's voice, crisp and cultured. You have returned to me, little mouse. Gobbet's nose crinkles in revulsion. Madness and folly chitter and shriek. Say me a speech, Malvina, or whatever you are. You didn't sell the whole benevolent monarch thing very well when you were human, and the new body isn't doing you any favors. The Rat King's voice rose to a bone-shaking roar. Insolent girl, you forget yourself. Oh, fuck this! She pulls back the slide of her weapon. We're sinking this boat, and you along with it! And that's going on. We're like, holy crap! Yeah, get done soon, Isabel. This ain't scary. Yeah, the thing is actually kind of creepy, actually, when you look at it. So. Luckily, this thing is pretty quick in real time. So. All right, yeah, we got the Rat King here and the rats. So basically, we just want to take care of the rats and leave the Rat King alone because we don't have the red thingy in on this path. So we basically just have to destroy all the rats and just keep them off of ourselves. So. Alright, do that. Excellent. Alright. Even though my fireball's really the only the big damage dealer I got. I was gonna buy a lightning bolt, but I thought I'd hold off on And unfortunately, Gobbet can't, or Isabel can't help us with that. Or grenade launcher. So, oh well. Oh god, look at that thing. Ugh, gross. Noise. And usually the reason it does that is it's ricocheting into that thing, but the thing is it's not a defensive wall, so we don't do that. Alright. Try one more time. Oh well, whatever. Yeah, it usually doesn't take much for me to figure out that part of it, so. Alright. A thunking sound accompanies the arming of the scuttling chargers. They're live and ready to blow. Alright, let's get out of here. Now just hopefully maybe we can avoid the final bit of this place. Again, like those traces. Let's run past them. Alright, good. Over there. Nope. Oh no. Alright. Oh yeah, we're really close to it. Oh, I was about to say, please don't actually hit that thing. Oh, no. Ah, it didn't move for some reason. No. I'm just gonna run. Because we're right there. Alright. Let's see. Yeah, now we just want to run over here. She doesn't. Oh, we can probably get the cracking. But yeah, basically we want to avoid them on this path and just get straight to the. I believe as voice shrieks, voice kept ripping out of the Rat King in the previous shriek. You will all remain here as my servants, or you will feed the rats. Moments later, a melange of deeper, more alien voices pouring from the thing, echoing Malvina's words. I serve Rat, you abomination. She is nothing like you. You can't see or hear a ticking clock, but you can feel one deep in your belly. The charges are on. The single ship is going down, and you have to get out. And by the way, what you're supposed to do is supposed to set the alarm for the one, and then do this, but we didn't actually do that, so we're actually killing all these people. So just to let you know. I just want to show you what happens when you screw this up a bit. I mean, this is why I said this probably is the best path, but we basically chose the worst option because we didn't warn everyone that we were leaving. Actually, I hope I can actually leave. Oh, okay. Yeah, I can't. Well, that's screwed up. Alright. Help. Basically, they moved in front of me, and I can't step over them. So I kind of posed myself by doing this. And that's what happens if you choose to do the Matrix path, which is the easiest one. Alarm klaxons blare and the emergency lights flash red. The scuttling charges are armed and primed to explode. Somewhere deep inside the sinking ship, and an eternal countdown begins. Gobbet pulls up short, blinking. She turns to you, a quizzical look on her face. Killer, did we forget something? I've got this nagging feeling that maybe we were supposed to... We didn't sound the alarm. She checks her pockets, slaps a new chip into her sliver gun. Her tongue is completely matter of fact. Cadmus and his people are going to die. Shit! It's probably too late to warn them, isn't it? Yep. Sorry, Gobbet, but we need to get out of here, and there isn't enough room on Captain Jomo's people for Cadmus's supporters. There isn't even time to tell them where to go. Whoops. Well, shit! Sorry, Cad. She takes a deep breath, releases it, and then she fixes her eyes on you. Okay, I know what to do. I know the ducks in this thing on the back of my hand. I can get us back to the boat you came in on. She beckons you towards an open vent hidden behind one of the raft's massive engines. Come on, you two, let's get out of here. Let's get the hell out of here. Yep, and that's what happens when you forget to... The alarm is that talking thing that you could click on. And you can completely screw... Even though you do probably the right option, you can completely screw the pooch by not telling them about it. You slide down the sinking ship's irregular access ladder and pile back into Captain Jomo's speedboat with seconds to spare. Gobbet and Isabel come crashing down behind you, skidding and sliding across the deck of the pirate vessel. Jomo opens the throttle of his little boat's engine, and an instant later you're flying. The speedboat puts on speed, taking you away from the sinking ship and the nightmare that you left on board. A series of explosions rock the enormous raft. Even from a distance, the concussion shakes you like a rag doll. Gobbet is nearly thrown overboard, but Isabel catches her in a flying tackle and pins her to the deck. With a final sickening crack, the sinking ship back breaks. As it recedes in the distance, you watch the sundering halves of the patchwork raft slip beneath the waves. Yep, and this is the try to save everyone but forgetting to do it type of thing. Although that description is the same no matter what. But let's go ahead really quickly. Okay, I'm gonna skip this part really quickly just because we're gonna see it again later. So I'm gonna, sorry, just so you can just skip this dialogue. So this has something to do with story, but I'll show it again later and talk about it next episode. I just want to show the dialogue that's slightly different or what the dialogue is with the with Gobbet and Isabel now that we did that path. I usually don't do this with a lot of my missions, but I wanted to show it off with this one specifically. So, oh, actually, I might have to go talk to Kindly Chang really quick. I might just cut that really quick. Okay, yeah. So I'm gonna cut the plot really quick. I'll just do that next episode, and then I want to talk to Isabel and Gobbet about what happened. So I'll be right back. Alright, we're back after doing the plot. I just skimmed through it just so I could get back to the boat. So I just want to talk to Gobbet and Isabel about the run specifically. I'm just gonna skim through their story really quick. So. Any thoughts about the last run? You know what drives me crazy about Gobbet? She does shit like this all the time. She doesn't think about anything, not about the risks she's taking, the consequences of her actions, or how her behavior can hurt her friends. She just jumps headfirst into whatever crazy scheme she's got in her head, and damn everyone else. Maybe after all this she finally learned her lesson. I don't think anybody got out of the ship before it went under. I didn't know Cadmus and the others, but they seemed like they were at least trying to do the right thing. They might have failed to stop Malvina, but at least they tried. Gobbet lost a lot of friends and family today. Go easy on her for a while, will you? Yep. So yeah, this is what happens. You still get the karma and the completion, but it's a pretty bad outcome. You know what I mean? Stepping into Gobbet's cabin, you find her crouched on the floor. She appears to be midway through a valiant struggle against an enormous pastry. Her cheeks bulge like a chipmunk's, and wispy threads of pork floss hang from her crumb-speckled lips. She glances at you, her eyes wide with alarm. I think I might skip this part just because we'll have to go through it again later after it. So, yeah, give me a second. Yeah, sorry, I'm just trying to skip it through really quick. All right, let's because that first bit of dialogue happens anyway. But I want to skip to the last run and talk about the sinking ship itself. Yeah, of course I do. I mean, it was kind of a big deal, you know. You've already said pretty much everything there is to be said, haven't you? I mean, it's not like we didn't go over this already with the important lessons about responsibility and all that. No, okay. Sinking ship. Yeah, we can do that. First off, I should thank you. You and Ez came to help me even though I didn't ask you to or want you to. Actually, maybe I should be upset about that. But the important thing is that you did help me. I'm not going to say it, but I couldn't have handled it without you, but it would have been really, really dicey. Let's see. I don't think that you could have done much, Gobbet, not after seeing what Malvina turned that lower level into. I don't want to argue about it. Let's just say that it's a good thing you were there. She shuffles her feet, stirring a pile of dirty blankets on the floor. What we walked into on that raft was pretty terrible, more so than I could have imagined. On the bright side, we sent that fucker to the bottom of the bay, the old sinking ship, and Malvina, her shiny object along with it. We were the only ones who made it off the boat, though. Everyone else died. Wasn't that what you were planning from the beginning, though? Yeah, but we did a bunch of additional legwork. We found some good people on the boat. Cat, well, he was dying anyway, but there were at least a few others that maybe could have saved, and we didn't. That's gonna gnaw at me, Killer, and why? Kind of makes me think how many times before now I have done what seemed like the right thing. You know, followed my gut like I taught you without realizing there was a better option. This whole introspection thing kind of sucks, gotta say. She looks at you, scowling. It's much more comforting to just assume that all my past decisions are right. Sure it is. It's intellectually dishonest, but it's definitely comforting. She bites her lower lip. Yeah, you know, Killer, you aren't helping my mood any. I'm kind of having a tough time over here. She begins to pace, kicking piles of dirty clothes and blankets out of the way. Thrusting her hands into her pockets, she fishes out madness and finally tosses them down under her cot. I don't do this very often, reflecting is from mirrors and devastatingly attractive street shamans. I don't know how you hand-wringers deal with feeling this way. By hand-wringers, do you mean people who learn from their mistakes? I guess, maybe, I don't know. Like I said, I don't really do this kind of thing, so tell me what to do next. What comes after this? After you suffer through your embarrassment for a while, you try to learn something from it. Huh? Your way is boring, Killer. It's complicated and it comes with way too many bad feelings. She scowls. But yeah, I get it. There's probably even some value there. I'm never going to start second-guessing everything that I do, though. That just isn't me. Maybe you could start second-guessing some things when new information presents itself? What a novel concept. Yes, Killer, I can do that, and I'll focus now on cross my heart. Anyway, things turned out the way they did. I don't know what might have happened if we tried to do something different, but the one thing that I can say for certain, things are better in Hong Kong Bay than they were before we went to the sinking ship. We did some good out there. That's something. Yeah, it is. No, actually, there are two things I could say for certain. I think the rat is happy that the shiny object is gone. She fishes in her pocket for a few seconds and produces a chunk of stone the size of a marble. It appears to be made of the same marbled red jade that the shiny object was. Check it out, she gave me a present. Gobbet, are you sure that came from Rat? Of course I am. I had a vision, colorful lights, dancing rodents, and the works. And when the world came back into focus, this magic marble was in the palm of my hand. She tosses the stone in the air and catches it with her other hand. Neat, huh? Now, I don't know quite how it works yet, but I'm sure that it does something. I mean, it has to, right? Rat wouldn't just give me a normal rock. She's a trickster and all that, but that'd be mean. So mark my words, the next time we're in the field, something magical is going to happen. I mean, literally magical. It'll be a journey of discovery for both of us. I'll be looking forward to that. Me too, and thank you, Killer. I really, really mean that. You can fly by my side anytime. Thanks, Gobbet. Alright, well that's it for her path. However, we did sink the ship and kill everyone along the way. But what happens if we decide to confront Malvina, get the stone for ourselves, and try to save the home boat of the sinking ship for all these people? We'll find out next time in the next episode of Shadowrun Hong Kong. Thanks for watching, hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you next time.